This is number one of two. All right. The last live stream that I do, all right, will be after the 13th of this. So this is my second to last live stream. All right. So I notice a lot of people, all right, get wound up certain people and we all get angry, all right. So there was a guy called Miyamoto Musashi, all right, and he practiced the art of calmness, which I have taken on board quite recently, and I've paid attention to it, and I've realized that the way he is sometimes is the way I can be. So I've taken on board some of his his mechanisms, how he keeps himself calm and everything. All right. So I want to play this video. It's a 9 minute long video. Okay. And in this video, all right, you will learn and hear about Miyamoto Musashi's practice. All right, and the way he used to think about life. So please sit there and enjoy this.
There's not the cartoonish red creature with horns, something worse, something human, something familiar. It's the anger you feed, the rage that simmers in your gut when someone disrespects you, the burning in your chest when things don't go your way. It's the part of you that explodes, ruins relationships, makes you weak, and you keep feeding it. But what if I told you there was a way to kill it, to bury it, to walk through fire with calm eyes while everyone else is screaming? Miyamoto Musashi, arguably the most dangerous man to ever walk Japan, did just that. He wasn't just a swordsman, he was a war machine wrapped in science. He fought over 60 life or death duels and never lost. Not because he was the fastest, not because he was the strongest, but because he was emotionless in battle. This isn't some fairy tale. This is how one man destroyed anger and became a legend. And now you'll learn his way. 1. Anger is a puppet string and you're the toy. Let's be brutally honest. Anger doesn't always make you powerful. It makes you owned. Every time you lash out, every time you explode, every time someone pushes your buttons and you react, you're showing your cards. You're telling the world exactly how to control you. Musashi understood this early on. He realized anger wasn't strength. It was a chain, a leash, a predictable reflex that made men easy to manipulate. Marcus Aurelius said,
So I will let you know, all right, there is an advert about halfway through this track, all right. So when the advert comes on, I will speak a little bit about what you've heard.
"You are disturbed by external things. It is not they that trouble you, but your own judgment of them." Read that again. Because if someone
Love
can
you,
make you
darling.
angry, can make you do anything. You're not in control. You're just a puppet, and your strings are your emotions. Musashi cut those strings. He trained himself to become immune to provocation, to walk into battle with the same stillness you'd expect from a monk. No matter what insult came his way, no matter how brutal the fight, he was always watching, always cold. Because he lacked emotions, but because he refused to be controlled by them. Real strength isn't how hard you hit, it's how possible you are to provoke. That's what made Musashi terrifying. Not his sword, not his size, not his speed, his unpredictability, his void. A man with no emotional triggers is a man you can't manipulate, threaten, or break.
That is
And
true.
that's real power.
Yes, it is.
2. The day Musashi killed anger.
Very important to listen to this.
There's know it. When Musashi was still young, barely out of his teens, he challenged one of the finest swordsmen in Japan, Arima Kihei. Arima was skilled, confident, formal. He expected a duel with swords. Musashi showed up hard with a wooden stick. Arima mocked him, laughed, taunted. Most men would have cracked, thrown.
So remember those words, yeah? Arima, okay, mocked Musashi for turning up with a wooden stick. Yeah. And yes, this video is correct. All right. Anyone else would have got provoked and start throwing punches. Now listen.
A punch, reacted emotionally. Musashi just watched, still, quiet, calculating. Then he struck hard, fast, and then killed his opponent. No rage, no screaming, no theatrics, just brutal, cold execution.
So Musashi, yeah, was taunted by Arima, all right? And obviously Musashi had a wooden stick. He was going to fight a man that was the best swordsman in the whole of Japan, yeah? And, Musashi was just out of his teenage years at the time. And he decided to bring a wooden stick to a sword fight against one of the most skilled sword fighters in the whole of Japan at the time. And basically, what has happened, right, is that Musashi, after being provoked by, fucking, I can't remember how to pronounce it, Arena, all right, um, Musashi decided to stay calm and strike with precision and calmness. And he killed Arima, yeah, with a wooden stick when Arima was the one that's standing there taunting. Yeah, you got a stick, blah, 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 I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean? But Arima had one fatal flaw. Arima was an angry man, very angry. I've actually looked into Arima, all right, and it turns out that he was a very angry individual, and that's why he won most of his fights through fear. He intimidated his opponents to make sure they didn't fight. Now listen to the rest.
Musashi didn't fight with emotion. He fought with awareness. He fought like death itself. Anger is not strength. True power is found in control. 3. The psychology of the blade. Musashi swing swords. He studied the mind. He controlled his anger. He wrote, "Do nothing which is of no use." Anger, if not used right, it's almost always useless. You think it helps you win arguments? It just shows you're weak. You think it helps you in conflict? It makes your enemies smile. They know they've already got you. The mind is like a blade. When you let it rust with emotion, it dulls. But when you keep it still, sharp, silent, it cuts through anything. 4. Why you get angry and why you'll keep losing. Let's make this personal. Why do you get angry?
Now, this is a very important one to listen to, all right? This will tell you, okay, one, why you get angry, and two, how you cope with it, all right? Take something on board from this. We've got another roughly a minute before the advert, all right? And then obviously the advert, turn the volume down, all right? And I'll explain a little bit more why the advert's playing.
Someone insults you. Life feels unfair. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Here's the harsh truth. You get angry because you think you're entitled to control things you were never meant to control.
Mm-hmm.
You think the world owes you respect. You think other people should behave the way you want. You think life should be fair. Musashi would say, "You are attached, and attachment is the root of suffering." Musashi trained himself to expect nothing from the world. He walked alone, slept in the dirt. He trained not just his body, but his soul to be untouchable. No luxury, no illusion of control. And because of that, no one could aim. 5. Training the void. Musashi's practice of emptiness.
Right, so that's the advert now. So, Musashi trained his body and his mind, all right, to understand that if you are angry in a fight, you will. Now, Miyamoto Musashi understood the value of keeping calm in a confrontation or within life that could make you lose control of your emotions, your way of thinking, your reaction. Now, when we actually look into Miyamoto Musashi, all right, from a very early age, Miyamoto Musashi wanted to be a sword fighter. He wanted to be a samurai, yeah, but he wanted to help the little people realize that no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, yeah, you should always stay calm. Now we go back to the video again.
You don't beat anger by screaming into a pillow or doing 100 push ups. You beat it by training your mind like a blade. Here's how Musashi did it: voluntary hardship. Musashi slept outside, ate little, avoided fame and fortune. He believed comfort made the mind weak, and a weak mind is easily triggered.
Very
Try
true.
this. Pick one comfort: cold showers, no sugar, no social media. Whatever makes you squirm, kill it. Get addicted to discomfort. You'll realize most of your anger was just entitlement in disguise. No reaction is the ultimate weapon. Musashi would go silent for hours, days even, while training. He trained himself to observe without reacting. Next time someone insults you, pause. Don't reply. Don't defend. Just watch them. The power shifts instantly. You'll feel it. Meditate on death. Every morning, Musashi meditated on his own death. Why? Because a man who isn't afraid to die can't be rattled by anything less. Musashi wrote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Anger fades when death becomes your companion. What's a traffic jam or rude comment compared to the void?" 6. Kill the ego. Kill the fire. At its core, anger is ego wearing a mask. You don't get angry because the world is cruel. You get angry because your image is under attack. And when your pride is bruised, someone dares to challenge your worth, seen, disrespected, or dismissed. But here's the truth Musashi understood better than anyone: ego is a weakness disguised as importance, and the more you feed it, the more fragile you become. Musashi's solution: kill the ego, burn it, starve it, leave its bones behind. He didn't care if people liked him, didn't care if his name echoed through history, didn't cling to praise, validation, or status. He didn't wear fancy clothes. He didn't chase approval. He didn't smile for the crowd because he knew this: the more you crave recognition, the easier it is to control you. The more
Musashi understood this more than anyone else. Yeah. His name will continue through history as one of the calmest, most collected people on this planet that ever lived. And there has not been another person like Miyamoto Musashi ever to exist. And this is why I am taking on his practices, his way of life, his thinking, you know, to first have everything you have first yet to experience having nothing. Yeah. But to have everything, to have creature comforts, to have physical possessions, things you like, things you feel like you need. Yeah. To set a boundary in your life that you know you want. It's all a creature comfort. And because of that, Miyamoto Musashi said that you are more attached to your identity than any other human on this planet. Now we go back to the video.
you attach your identity to how others see you, the more power they have to break you. Musashi walked like a shadow through the world, detached, free, silent. He lived like a ghost because he understood one thing: a man with nothing to prove is a man no one can provoke. When you
Very
kill
true.
the ego, insults become noise, criticism becomes information, rejection becomes irrelevant, and anger, it dies because there's nothing left to defend. You want to become untouchable. Don't build thicker armor, burn the ego that needs protecting, because the warrior with no pride left to wound is the one you should fear the most. 7. The final duel: Musashi versus Sasaki Kojiro. Let's end with this. Musashi's most legendary duel was with Sasaki Kojiro.
Honestly, listen to this.
Kojiro
It's
was
very interesting.
fast, elegant, deadly. Musashi arrived hours late because he was lazy, but because he wanted. Kojiro angry, frustrated, unbalanced. Kojiro was boiled with rage. Musashi stepped off his boat calm as a stone, holding a wooden sword carved from an oar. Kojiro lunged, furious. Musashi, still, calculated. One blow, Kojiro dropped dead. That's what anger gets you. 8. Musashi's Way, the modern code. This
Listen to
isn't
this.
about pretending to be a samurai. It's about adopting their core: emptiness, detachment, precision. Silence. If you want to stop being angry, stop reacting, start watching, stop detaching, stop screaming, start sharpening, and remember, the quieter you are, the deadlier you become. The way of the warrior is resolute acceptance of death. Another quote by Musashi. When you no longer fear discomfort, when you stop needing others to act how you want, when you stare death in the face and laugh, there is no anger left, only stillness, only power. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more video,
So Musashi, in a way, understood that by using anger in your everyday emotions or within your arguments, all right, that you would lose every single time. Now, on two accounts, all right, Musashi turned up to a fight with a wooden weapon. And on both accounts, once from his very early years against Arima, yeah, when he was just out of the teenage years, all right, he went up against Arima, all right, and then later on in his life, he went up against the other guy, and on each occasion, yeah, he has fought against people with swords with a wooden weapon and killed them, not in anger, but because he knew that by these people getting angry, that he would win the battle within himself. Yeah. Each fight that you commit yourself to in anger and you think you're better than anyone else, you'll always lose. There is one person that tries to win fights and arguments with nothing more than disgust for other people. All right. That man is Eric. Eric Vierfoller slash Vonhoff. If you wish to look up his YouTube channel, his name is Cenifire. It's spelt a stupid way. He's not spelt it. You know what I mean? Like the guy's a fool to himself. Um, but he has caused so many problems for himself, and he gets angry over the tiniest little things. Now, yeah, I had a little bit of a tiff with someone the other night, but do you know what? I sat there and said, do you know what? You can think of me as you wish. I've not got a problem with that. The fact that you think less of me, yeah, is entirely your choice. I am not bothered. I can't be asked. You know what I mean? What is the point in me having a go at someone, alright, because they think little of me? Why? I just end up just like the people that fought against Musashi. Alright. Well, Musashi was a very and very interesting man. Now, you've heard what he has to say. You've heard part of his life on, and the two people that he fought against. Yeah. He walked through life, yeah, in the shadows. So, you know, like he was a very calm, collected man. And I think that all of you out there that do YouTube can actually pay attention and take some of Sashi's teachings and put them into practice. Because I've noticed that too many people, yeah, on YouTube are invested in drama and everything. And you know what? All of you that are invested in drama, you're all a bunch of fools. You're a bunch of idiots to yourselves. You know what I mean? Like, you think you have got the right to be like that, but you don't have the right to be like that. Yeah? By you biting at people because you hear stuff that you don't like from them, yeah? All you're doing is getting yourself angry and not abiding by the teachings of Miyamoto Musashi. Alright? If you learn to stay calm, yeah, let these people in. That is what Miyamoto Musashi taught himself. And this is why I have taken on some of his teachings, because I feel as though Miyamoto Musashi was one of these types of people that understood life in a way that nobody else could understand. There are more videos about Miyamoto Musashi's teachings, right? There is one, yeah. Um, there's one of Musashi, which is about 34 minutes long, so we're not going to watch that one. Um, there is 21 Principles of the Art of War by Sun Tzu. Um, so we will play that one. It's about 14 minutes long, all right? So please sit there and listen to it, all right? It's very important, all right? So please sit, listen, enjoy this one. Hopefully you all take something away from it, yeah, that you can learn and put into practice, all right? Remember, staying calm is always the correct thing to do. Don't kick off with, yeah, don't slag people off, yeah, don't be doing videos on them, yeah, and just stop being a fool to yourself. If you destroy your ego, yeah, you become more collected, you become calmer within yourself. Now, this is the video. Enjoy.
By Sun Tzu,
Sun Tzu, sorry,
strategist, philosopher,
I pronounced it wrong.
the path of wisdom during China's warring states period. His teachings arose not merely from the need to triumph in battle, but from an understanding that true mastery lies in outmaneuvering conflict altogether. Sun Tzu was not merely a disciple, he was a student of human nature. Through his writings, Sun Tzu offered more than strategies for warfare. He revealed principles for navigating the complexities of life itself. The art of war to soldiers and battlefields, but is applicable to all arenas of human endeavor. The lesson speaking to those who seek to overcome obstacles, achieve their goals, and live with purpose.
So true. Listen to it.
Principles of the art of war.
The principles, not rules, they're principles that you should always live by.
Know yourself and know your enemy, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles. To know yourself is to grasp the depth of your weaknesses and the essence of your potential.
I might need to make a coffee in a moment. Don't know.
You cannot act with the confidence or adapt to challenges. To know your enemy is to unveil their intentions, strengths, and vulnerabilities, ensuring their moves cannot surprise you. Balance both insights, and you hold the key to mastering every situation, for no battle is ever lost when both your heart and your opponents are laid bare.
So true.
Two, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting.
Again, true.
The most elegant solutions avoid unnecessary confrontation. Winning a conflict without direct confrontation is the pinnacle of skill. Persuasion, strategy, and understanding often triumph where brute force fails. Seek resolution that spares energy, resources, and relationships. Number three, opportunities multiply as they are seized. Every step forward creates a pathway to future growth. Taking action generates momentum, opening doors you never knew existed. Hesitation, on the other hand, allows opportunities to wither and vanish. Embrace action to cultivate a fertile ground for future success. Number four, all warfare is based on deception. Life often requires presenting things differently than they appear, whether in negotiations or everyday challenges. Showing your hand too soon can lead to failure. Control the narrative and use strategy to stay one step ahead. Truth, when paired with discretion, is a powerful weapon. Number 5. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity.
Always.
When everything seems uncertain, the clever find hidden advantages. Moments of disruption create space for creativity and bold decisions. Fear blinds many, but clarity in chaos leads to breakthroughs. Stay calm and let chaos be the forge of your greatest achievements to come. Number 6. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Picking your battles wisely ensures your strength is not wasted. Not every conflict deserves your time and energy, so discernment is essential. Wisdom lies in retreating when necessary and engaging only when it matters most.
And that was rule number 6. All right. We don't actually have time to do the rest today. Um, I will probably do one more live stream just for this alone. All right. Just so you can hear the rest of the rules. But until then, that's all from me here, Viking Cases of Appreciation. And I will state that my choice to come off of YouTube is based around care for myself and for the people I care about and I love. All right. So, you know, it's one of those, like, at the end of the day, all right, I'm coming off of YouTube because, you know, we've already got all our famous YouTubers. Yeah. None of us are going to make it big on YouTube. You know, YouTube is a dying platform for dying people. You know, people that don't understand that YouTube is going down the pan. There's also been talks that within a year, all right, YouTube is running out of their contract and they will probably be selling it, all right, which means that YouTube will probably be one of these platforms that nobody will be able to use. We're not getting the new YouTubers coming in like we used to anymore. And I feel like YouTube is a lost cause now. I do plan on going on to TikTok. I also have a YouNow account. And yeah, I will work my live streaming from those two platforms. I will put my username for both platforms up as a community post. Alright, so that if anyone wishes to watch my live streams or see my other videos, alright, yeah, that'd be much appreciated. Anyway, I do wish you all the best. I please have a lovely day, alright, and just remember, alright, that when you feel angry, yeah, destroy the ego within inside of you. Destroy the anger and the creature comforts that you have. Pick one creature comfort. Pick one comfort that you've got and destroy it. Get rid of it out of your life. When you learn that attachment to physical things weakens the mind and the body, you will then understand what life is about. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's your starting point. Anyway, please take care of yourselves, everyone, and have a lovely day. Goodbye.